Folks, what the crap's going on? Your Salt Dragon is back, and we are in the Miao Ying, meow like a cat, Miao Ying campaign, okay? So we're going to be continuing. This is not quite where I left off. I went through like another half turn or so afterwards just to get a few things done. I took Iron Storm back from Chaos. I've got this army here, and I'm going to kind of decide what to do with them next. I'm not exactly sure where I want to move them. If I leave it right here, we could get hit by this army from the settlement and this army without the settlement. It's very possible that Miao Ying and this army are going to be attacked on the turn end by all these armies, but Archaon's army is terrible. This one is okay, but I don't think it's going to be able to break through us here, so I'm feeling pretty safe. Regardless, I think that we're going to be able to make it out of this okay. I'm going to go ahead and tear down that building, and I'm going to start putting some control and replen into here, and we'll see if we can use Iron Storm as a place to retrain and refit. I'm going to move Gotrek over to kill this Beastman army. It's rating over 1,200 per turn. I'm not going to put up with that. And then I did move these other armies back into my own territory successfully. I began some global recruiting. I think you all saw that at the end of the last video. So we'll be able to get this army ready to fight again. They got a little bit beat up and then ended up with Skaven Plague up in the mountains. No one likes Skaven Plague. I mean, unless you're Skrulk, and then you probably love Skaven Plague. We had, of course, some massive fights with the vampires. And, of course, the vampires have a couple more armies, and they retook the Maw Gate, which is fan-freaking-tastic. I absolutely love it. So now we've got them behind us up there. So that's pretty irritating. However, I do have a bit of an issue if they come into this entrance. So unfortunately, I do think I'm going to have to double back and take out the vampires that took the Maw Gate. We can't afford to let them set up behind us like that.
Celestial ancestors.
So I was hoping to push against them in the south immediately, but let's go destroy these armies at the Maw Gate, give that back to the ogres, and then that'll give these armies a chance to kind of replenish here, and we'll try and get on the push again. But I'm going to need all four of those armies if we're going to have any hope of bowling over the vampires. Oh gosh, I am not excited about having to fight a bunch of iron-willed dwarves. Hopefully we can get the campaign victory achievements well before we have to sink our teeth very deep into a dwarf empire, because they are incredibly annoying to fight. There's nothing else I can do with these skills. I don't have the skill dump mod turned on. Unfortunately, I should have. So we're going to have to just skip that one. Lord not moved. Yeah, that's intentional at the moment here. I just want to get this Astromancer back in that army. But yeah, intentional to not move. Well, I say intentional to not move. I actually will go ahead and move up a little just so I can get better eyes. Look at this. Oh my gosh. We just killed the ever-loving crap out of every army they have, and look at this. They're starting to do, like, Terrorgeist Doom stacks. Just not great. Holy cow. We just killed, like, 4 of their armies. Now, of course, they got to walk away with a bunch of the troops despite the fact that they crumbled because of the idiot. The dead shall rise again mechanic. So we just defeated like 4 stacks in battle, and they've already got, it looks like 4 full ones, 2 more almost full, or no, sorry, 5 full ones and 2 almost more full stacks, and then 2 more recruiting back here, as well as 2 more up here. So it is amazing to me, just like the endless horde of vampires. So we're about to be attacked again by the vampires. I'm actually going to come out of the camp stance. I'll just get these 2 armies close to each other so they can support each other. Okay, so we're replenishing with these stacks. We're going to have to continue to fight off endless hordes. Now you know why I'm going to need all of these stacks, so it's really irritating that the ogres somehow let these guys get behind them right there, because I really need to stay focused with all 4 armies, so definitely irritating. Damage buildings. I'm not worried about the damage building there at the moment. Let's go ahead and end our turn.
The dragon-blooded.
Oh, I forgot to move that army. I hope that army doesn't get hit by the army in Bloodwind Keep and that other Chaos army. That could be a little bit problematic. We could probably fall back, though, and wouldn't be able to be hit by both of them at the same time. I'm actually more curious to see what Archaon's faction does on this turn, and they could come against me 3-on-1 at Ironstorm, where Miao Ying is at. But will they? If they don't, I think it's a major mistake, because then I'll have replenishment and I will only be stronger. And then not only that, I've got another army on the way to help me. So I think that they're going to make a major mistake if they don't 3-on-1 me. Okay, they did not. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake on Archaon's part. They should have attacked me and done everything they could, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore Archaon's faction for a moment. This army's not going to be capable of getting through the wall, nor is Archaon's army. Alright, we are back into balance. Excellent, that's going to give us some more income. I can attack this army, it looks like, on this turn. I can't quite kill them. Yeah, we're going to declare war on them. I'm not going to call Goldtooth to help because there's no point. So we're going to send Gotrek in to go after these guys. We're going to take a hit to income because we're moving outside of that nice income boost that we get from the walls. Unfortunately, they ran away, but we did stop them from doing their raiding, which helps to a degree. So Gotrek's more than a match for that army, even in his somewhat pathetic state at the moment. This army has now finally stopped suffering Skaven Plague. I'm going to do that. I don't want to get rid of these elephants. I could probably retrain them faster, but they have gold chevrons, and so I don't want to lose those gold chevrons. I think instead I'm just going to quickly drop a new infantry unit in here to kind of fill this army up. We'll have to stay put for a turn, unfortunately. But I will go into an ambush here. It might be a good place to lure an enemy army in. And then we really need to put the push on...
It shall be effortless.
The Iron Dragon. In search of Warpstone.
Search of Warpstone. You sound like a rat.
This way.
I'm gonna move my forces up. Looks like the vampires did take one army and acting like they're gonna try and move into my territory.
An offense to
But
my
I'm going to
bloodline.
catch them and kill them
Such
at the
a
Maw
thing is
Gate.
impossible.
The gigantic vampire horde part 2 is now approaching. So if I put one army in the settlement, one of the issues we can run into is that they'll siege the settlement with one of the stacks and then attack our other one with the other 5 stacks. So I think what we're going to do is look for the best... Yeah, there's a really good ambush success chance right here. And we're within... I can't tell what it is where we're sitting at. Let's just go ahead and set the ambush right here. So we'll set the ambush chance, hope for the best there, see if we can knock out another couple of stacks of vampires. Get these two, and then hopefully, like I said, maybe be able to put together some kind of push on them. It's very difficult because of how quickly they can put together armies. That's not altogether unexpected. Vampires excel at getting armies quickly because it Raise the Dead. It is functionally a mechanic that allows them to pull together huge numbers of forces very quickly. I'm going to pull out of Iron Storm. The enemy is likely to take it over. That's fine. We're going to kind of just leave it there as bait. And what we're going to do is we're going to surround and siege Bloodwind Keep.
My delights are too much for thee.
So yeah, I'm going to stay in this formation here. Got a bunch of characters here who need to skill up. Some of them probably won't be able to because they're at the end of their skill tree. Let's see, though.
Ready to defend.
So yeah, we can't skill up that character, but we can on these ones. Arcane Conduit is always a good bet. Ancestral Warriors is nice.
I was born to wield it.
And let's see, we've got Arcane Conduit, Chain Lightning, Comet. Got the Curse of the Midnight Wind. We'll finish. Well, that's not a huge deal, but we'll do Roiling Skies. We've also got Scouting there. So, yeah, that's all the skill upgrades we can do there. What I'm hoping is that Ironstorm acts as bait to keep the attention of Archaon's host, and that'll allow me to stomp the losers at Bloodwind Keep, and then focus my attention elsewhere. Because again, if we can push Chaos up out of here, we can get moving against them and try and hurt them some more too. So we will see. I feel like I have so many armies, but I need at least 10 more to be effective. It is really quite frustrating. Some of you might be thinking, Air, you're not spending any of your money on your buildings. I know. I'm kind of holding just in case we end up in an ugly situation over the next few turns. I want to have a big chunk of extra money. There's honestly not a ton of buildings I could do that would impact my income, which is really what I'm concerned with at the moment. I want to have the highest income possible so that I can field the most armies possible. The little trick at the wall is nice where we can reduce our upkeep by a lot, but the problem is now we need to expand, right? And so that trick's only really useful if you're leaving like one army behind in order to guard your territory. At this point, I don't really need a ton of guarding in my own territory. I am reluctant to leave nothing in my home territory. It looks like we did get the vampires here. It was not an ambush, unfortunately. But it says we're going to win, and that's against 1. Let's see, Johan makes 2. Tabert makes 3. And Ulmer makes 4. So 4 vampire armies have attacked us here. And the one is the 5 Terrorgeist Doom stack there. That is a mess indeed. Let's take a look at the terrain. Ooh, this terrain is excellent for us, assuming that our reinforcements come back here or from close at the side. Let's go ahead and fight this one. Alright, I started the battle hoping that the vampires would be within range of my rockets. I could cover about half their deployment zone, but they kind of did what I expected, which was they just moved back well into their own deployment zone, and they're waiting on the reinforcements. And that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and move my rocket batteries back. I had not Vanguard deployed them, but I deployed them extremely close to the front line. This terrain it's good from the standpoint of setting up a bottleneck. It's not the best from like getting good shots standpoint. I'm thinking actually about moving further back into the choke point. If my infantry kind of sits in this low-lying depression, my guns can sit up higher and shoot. So I'm actually going to begin that process. I'm going to start moving all these units further back here. And what we'll do, I'll just go ahead and put all my infantry up front. So let's see here. I think we had a couple more Celestial Dragon Guard. I'm going to just mix them into my infantry. I've now got a pretty large infantry line here, and like I said, we're going to run it straight through this little depression here. That's going to leave me some reinforcement units. I'll go ahead and set them in a rear line. That's going to be my Bannermen and my Jade Warriors. Always good to have a few reinforcing units because inevitably the vampires could make a break in your line. Alright, next step, I'm going to get all my Crane Gunners together in a group. And if I'm looking at this, this is that high ground. I'm going to place those Crane Gunners right up here on this high ground. And then I want my cannon kind of up here on this high ground. The rockets don't so much depend on the high ground, so I'm going to just put them right down here towards the rear of the formation. And then my crossbows also don't necessarily need, you know, a really excellent high ground position. I do want them somewhat near the center of the battle so they can cover the range that's needed. Let's go ahead and put all these units in a group together too, because I'm going to need quick access to crossbows. I want a Wujing War Compass on either flank. And then I want my Flying Brigade ready to intercept any incoming hostiles. In fact, I'm going to put my Shooting Gun Lords in that as well. So we've got a pretty good goon squad up in the air. It's not going to be amazing, but it's going to be good. Let's see, that's my cannon. The cannon definitely needs to be here. I'm going to move this Crane Gunner forward just a hair. Okay. We've now got all set up. It says we win if the time run out, so the vampires will have to come find us. And they will. I've got a use of Ancestral Warriors. We are all set. I do not want my infantry chasing after anything after it gets charged, so I'm going to put them into a defensive formation here. Let's get all my artillery pieces together and make sure that they are going to be all in defensive so that they do not try and chase targets. I'm going to keep some Terracotta Sentinels handy across the front. They do block the fire arc for the crane gunners, so we're going to be a little bit careful. Let's take one more look at our crane gunners. That's actually a terrible position because of that hill. But if I deploy farther back, it gets worse too. I almost think maybe the crane gunners should be deployed over back here. I think they should. That'll give them a little more range to work with. And that means I'm going to redeploy my rockets just a little bit to like right here. Let's try that out and see how it works. I'm going to put my crossbows right there. Okay. Alright, so we'll do a little bit of position trading. It's not ideal to fight from this position. But that will at least give my crane gunners a commanding view up into this position. And we'll be able to pick off any units that we need to. Let's keep group 3 kind of at the ready right over here. Okay. Alright, what's on its way? I see some vampire units approaching. We've got some black knights with lances and barding. We do not want our artillery on fire at will for the potential of friendly fire. Okay, they've got some flying units already approaching. I think it's the Terrorgeist Brigade. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get this third group here. Their Terrorgeist can bypass my position here in the... And they very well likely are. And they also have a lot of breath attacks, so that could be problematic. Normally I might just fly out and attack them. That is too many Terrorgeist, and they've got the Vargeist there as well. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this situation as it unfolds. Where is my cannon? My cannon can't really get a shot at any of these units at the moment. Maybe a shot onto those Vargeist. And probably some shots onto those Black Knights. I do not have a Metal Sorcerer, so unfortunately I can't do any Final Transmutation, which would be very good against a group of Terrorgeists like that. Oh yeah, some solid hits. Solid hits. This Vargeist didn't lose any entity, or no, it won't show me whether they lost entities, but oh yeah, they did. They lost 2 entities there, so that was hashtag worth it. Oh, get wrecked. They're trying to fly over the top of that peak there, so that's peak AI stupidity. Mind the pun.
Dragon Guard!
Dragon Guard crossbows up here, they're going to be needed. Okay, here comes the Terrorgeist. They are now cresting the hill down the other side. Let's get our crane gunners. Pick a target. Okay, let's seal this here. All the Terrorgeist are just falling down into there. Okay. I'm gonna summon the Ancestral Warriors here and make life quite miserable for those Terrorgeist. I'm gonna continue to target them. Alright. Alright, so we've got a lot of Terrorgeist to deal with here. One of them's going after my Wujing War Compass. How are we doing with our crane guns? They are, some of them, still firing. We're getting hit really hard over there in that vicinity. Okay, rockets, you've got targets incoming.
Sound the retreat!
What's sounding the retreat? Really? Jade Warrior with Halberd. Routed.
Train gunners!
Okay, move in the reinforcements.
Repositioning!
We got heavy enemy presence incoming. Our rockets didn't fire. They may be in a bad position. Let's reposition the rockets. Okay, this is not really off to a great start for me.
Crossbowmen.
The Terror guys came in from an awkward position that has allowed them max survivability. We got some Cairn Wraiths coming in. It's about time for us to start dropping some magic into this situation. So let's get our Wujing War Compass here. And let's open up with a Celestial Comet. And let's get a Wind Blast going as soon as that Comet comes loose. Okay, let's focus fire Richmond there. I'm gonna take this cannon, focus fire him, and let's take our crane guns and pick at this character here as well. We're getting hit by a massive vampire tide over here. We're gonna need another comet spun up here in just a moment. Ooh, actually, cancel that. It won't let me cancel it. Maybe? I don't know if I cancel it or not. Okay, our troops are breaking over here for some reason. Let's bring the Bannermen up. I can't figure out why we're getting broken through over here. We did manage to take out that Ghoul King, though. I said we managed to take him out. He somehow managed to stay alive. This blob over here has become quite problematic. Okay. It's time for me to get my Dragon Guard crossbows and this Crane Gunner back just a little. Let's get our Goon Squad, our Aerial Goon Squad, and let's come over here. And let's goon up this guy here. Otherwise, I'm going to bring my Bannermen over here to help hold the line.
Mage of the Celestial Court.
Bring in yet another Comet. We've got to clean up this corner, and we got to clean it up quickly.
Restore your balance. Shogun Gun Sorcerer.
Okay. That's going to be a pretty effective Comet kill. That's some really effective Dragon Breath there. That Ghoul King is not dying to my Goon Squad, which is fantastic. I love it when the AI just gets a bunch of BS crap like that. Let's bring our Goon Squad to attack a new target. Our Bannermen are not immune to psychology and routed near immediately. That is really irritating. We've got units over here that aren't doing anything, so I'm going to reposition them. This fight is kind of turning into a cluster, and it's kind of irritating, to be honest. I've got units, Celestial Dragon Guard, terror routing. We've got to get some of these units back here. You all get back in the fight and quit routing. Bunch of crybabies. How many times have we beat the Undead? Is the outcome really in question here? That was a hypothetical question you weren't meant to answer. Let's see. I feel like we're maybe getting a little bit of ground on the enemy here. Let's see. I need these two guys to come over here. Keep gooning. Drop some buffs over here. I'm gonna put a Talons of the Night and eat up everything that's around us. Alright, our Goon Squad's finally getting a chunk of that jerk Ghoul King who didn't want to die. Wanted to be Little Johnny Lives a Lot. I see Mortis engines on the way, so I'm gonna get my ranged units spun up. And let's try and get a slow. Too late, I can't get a slow. Alright, let's get our Goon Squad out of the line of fire. Back over to here. What else is okay, there's another Terrorgeist on the way. Okay, let's see.
Shang Yang's faithful.
We are not getting quick kills on the Mortis engines, which is
We obey.
totally unacceptable. We've got to get our characters out of this fight and let the missiles finish it. I need
Cavalry.
group 3. Alright, that Terra Geist landed right in our midst. That's fine, as long as they stay busy there. We need to pull these reinforcements. We're starting to get breakthroughs over here that we can't tolerate. I'm gonna move another reinforcement up over here. I'm having trouble ever getting line of sight with my crane guns, and it's costing me pretty dearly. I'm about to lose my big units here because I don't have anything to hold the AI
To rule.
in its absence.
Restore order.
Okay, I'm trying to retreat here, but I'm being chased, and I'm being badly damaged.
Shogun gun sorcerer.
I need something to protect this. I'm gonna lose my... Do either one of these have that built-in heal? They don't. I'm down to 100 hit points on my Sentinel, and then now this one's stuck and dropping rapidly. So we got a massive breakthrough here. I need a Talons of the Night spun up in a big hurry.
Dragons, hear my prayer. Praise the dragons.
Hey, can we like goon this guy? It's been in the middle of that fight for like 10 years. Alright, I'm gonna lose a Sentinel probably because I can't get this one moving. We got 2 more Mortis engines coming in. It's really frustrating. I feel like we've got the capability to defeat the vampires here, but my poor micro and then just kind of the overwhelming positioning right now of the vampires is hurting me.
Jade warrior.
Okay, if we can get those Mortis engines out, they're getting free damage done. We've got black coaches to deal with now. Alright, there we go. We're starting to break the vampires. So we took some losses here that I'm not real thrilled about because it's... Actually, we have not lost any of our... Oh, don't fire, don't fire, don't fire. I might be able to save these 2 now. If I can make sure we don't get hit any friendly fire here. Wow. If I get away with that, that is going to be incredible. Alright, look at all these units that Terra routed and came back, and I haven't got them back over here. Boy, Terra routes are annoying. Vampires successfully got a lot of Terra routes there, and those were on elite units. Alright, what's out here still that's keeping the vampires in the fight? Let's go check it out. Okay, we weren't able to use our artillery to any good effect here either. Maybe a few good shots with the cannon, but everything else was mostly ineffectual. So that was another big nail in our efficiency here. And I don't believe these were all the vampire armies present, which means that we could get counterattacked again here. I do not understand. There is no mini-map, so I can't look at a mini-map for any red marker. Okay, there we go. They crumbled. Alright, well that was not great for me. I'm going to take the replenishment. I've got 2 badly damaged Sentinels, and that was only 3 or 4 of them. It only shows 3 of them here. The other army, I think, crumbled, and they're just going to let them walk away with no losses, which means we could be attacked again on this same turn-in. We were not, fortunately, so we're going to have a chance to get a little bit of replenishment during that turn. Unless the vampires corrupted the province in that turn to a degree that it's... Because we're right on the edge of vampiric corruption and not vampiric corruption there. Our ambush was foiled. We can decline this attack, but the auto-resolve is looking to be quite kind to me here. So I'm just going to take the auto-resolve on this one. Take the replenishment. And then with that turn-in, we now got some additional units into that other army. We just bounced back over to a Yang harmony, so we're going to need a little bit of Yin. Alright, we got anything good here? I actually need that one. That's another +1 Yang. Okay, good. Chaos took the bait. And they move forward into Ironstorm, so that's a waste of their time.
Shogun Gun Lord reporting.
They took the bait like the clowns they are. I'm going to move
Shogun Lord reporting.
this army around here. And I'm gonna
My ancestors require it.
circle here. And we're going to continue the siege.
Witness their demise.
And now I'm gonna move up some
We
reinforcements.
will bring order.
Any army that I can keep in the
Sent
encamp
by the
stance and get it
Emperor.
cause enough, I'm
Sent
going to.
by our
So like Miao
ancestors.
Ying will get close enough. I think this one will now
Cathay
too.
needs
Yep.
them dead.
So now I can do an auto resolve here. Get rid of these losers without having to waste time.
Move like water. Fight as one.
Okay, we're gonna occupy that settlement.
Cathay's will.
These two armies stay in the
Celestial
encamp stance, so they will get ever so slight
Power
amount
in the
of
blood.
replenishment there. We need a Yang building, or a Yen building, and that will give it to us. Alright,
Offspring of dragon.
we now just need to get these armies ready to turn around and fight Chaos. Chaos is amassing more armies, and then Kolek has showed up too. So, just in time, we get Big Papa Kolek coming wanting to have a throwdown as well. Run away, you chickens. What the heck, man? Why do you come back and raid my lands? How are you even called beastmen if you won't fight? Like, I don't understand. Stand and die, you cowards.
A mighty death!
It's a little bit of a mess in the Chaos Waste right now, folks. I really need another army out there, too. Like, if I'm being honest with myself about it, Iron Storm, okay, yeah. But the good, like I said, good thing is they are wasting their time at Iron Storm.
Natural.
The wall will still be difficult for them to get through. Ambusher. Get the Harmony flipped back. We need Gotrek to head back to the Snake Gate. Okay. We got Gotrek headed back. We've got all three of our armies put together here. The three of our armies should be strong enough to take on what Archaon is bringing. The challenge is that our upkeep is going to be very slow. Or sorry, our replenishment, despite the fact that I have buildings boosting it. And it's because CA's debuff to the upkeep in the red climate areas is too strong, in my opinion. Like, way too strong. I think minus 10% would be fine, and minus 5% on the other one would be fine. I feel like that they definitely swung the hammer a little too far in the other direction. Alright, we've got our replenishment and stuff restarted here. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I am going to reset the ambush here.
Wind Shaper.
And I'm going to finish Stone Gaze, put in Rally. I want to try and buff these infantry even more. And let's move up right behind here and continue replenishing. This army's still got some work to do, replenishing our elephants. So that's going to be important for us to get done because they're a very powerful part of that army. Let me see. Let's take care of a skill point here. It's going to be our Lord Magistrate. I'm going to keep working on Inspired Marksmanship. Might be kind of a fun one to apply to those Crane Gunners. See if we can turn them into an execution squad. And let's see, Shrine of the Alchemist.
Stands ready.
We actually can get just a bit of cash here. Unique building here too. Gives us income and allegiance points. Income from tariffs plus 10%, man, that would be a nice building to have. I'm not going to build a building there because it's going to knock us out of balance. I'm going to save that for when we're ready to get back in balance. And Chaos is going to be annoying. Every time I feel... And then look, the Kurgan Warband is going to slowly build up over and over and over again too. Gottrek's probably going to permanently have to garrison the wall in order to deal with the Kurgan spawns that happen. Alright.
The Iron Dragon.
Can we attack with these armies?
The Celestial.
And the answer is yes.
Wrath.
So let's kill some more vampires. These vampires are going to be quite incompetent.
We shall prevail.
And they were. Take what little bit of replenishment they're going to offer.
They shall mine Whopstone.
Somehow those armies weren't destroyed, which
Shogun
is
Lord
intensely
reporting.
frustrating.
Lord of the Jade Sword.
They got away with, like,
Ask another.
a decent number of their troops for no apparent reason whatsoever.
Make your ancestors proud.
So it takes 2 battles in a single turn to actually get rid. And that one may still get away. Based on this graying out thing, I think they're still going to get away.
An extension of the Empire.
Fire and metal.
Shogun Lord reporting.
Holy moly. Alright. Well,
The desert alchemist.
was that enough vampires? So we killed a lot of vampires. Unfortunately for us, there are still a lot of vampires. It's almost like we didn't even touch them here. There's still 4 armies back there.
Dragon-blooded Shogunga. Dragon-blooded Shogunga. Child of the Nine.
Okay. Well, the never-ending vampire slog goes on. I need these armies to get free and come help us. And now these 2 are replenished, so we were definitely hurting with these 2 armies out of there, with all 4 of those armies being busy elsewhere. Man, I don't know what's about to become of the Chaos Waste. It's about to turn into a mess up here, too. So, we've got a lot of chaos to kill, so our work is never done here, folks. The work of Grand Cathay is never done. Hope you all enjoyed it. I will see you soon with some more action in the Miao Ying campaign.